This is an insane story. It's crazy. The police came to the wrong conclusion in both of these cases. In this first case, we have Tamika Chessa, who went missing from her home state of Virginia. She was last seen on December 12, 2018, at approximately 11:30 p.m. According to the police, she left the house in her silver 2007 Toyota Camry. Her car was found abandoned a few hours later in the parking lot of a Walmart store in Chesapeake, Virginia. Her phone was also found there. Her family told the police that it was out of character for her to leave without her phone. Now, this all happened in December, so, a couple weeks before Christmas. And apparently she had plans to go shopping at this Walmart, but she never made it inside. Her disappearance was immediately ruled as suspicious, and the FBI joined the investigation. They put up a reward for $25,000 for information in her disappearance. Her family said that she was in good spirits when she left the house. There was no indication that she was going through any kind of emotional distress. All they could think of is that maybe somebody kidnapped her. They really don't know. At first, the police focused their investigation on her ex-boyfriend. But he passed a polygraph, and he was eliminated as a suspect. In January of 2019, 6 weeks after she went missing, they began searching a wooded area near where her car was found, because they received an anonymous tip. But after 2 days of searching, nothing was found. And then the case went cold until November 2020. Almost 2 years later, the FBI released new footage of her entering her car, and also surveillance footage of a man they believe might have been following her that night. This is what he looks like. If you know anything, contact the FBI, but it's just so weird. Why would you be following her that night? Why did you stop following her at the Walmart? What were your intentions? Here's what's even weirder. That same month, November 2020, they also released new information about the car that she was driving. They said that she wasn't driving a silver car. She was driving a white car, white 2007 Toyota Camry. The picture that they showed of the car is literally the exact same car. It's just a different color. So if they had this information all along, why didn't they release it sooner? Why did they waste everyone's time investigating something that wasn't true? It's like they jumped to conclusions way too fast. Like they assumed she was driving a silver car, so they wasted almost 2 years trying to find a silver car when she was driving a white car. It's like, what? I mean, obviously if this was me, I would want to see every piece of evidence they have. It's like, why are they hiding things from us? I don't trust them. And then, in March of 2021, almost 3 years after Tamika disappeared, the police arrested a guy named Jay Smith and charged him with her murder. He's already in jail for killing another woman, which I'll get into in a second. The police said that he confessed to killing Tamika, and he led them to where her body was buried in a shallow grave in North Carolina. But here's the thing. He gave them this whole story about how he met Tamika on Facebook, and then they started talking. And then they decided to meet up in real life, and then he killed her. But come on guys, that makes no sense. You can't just meet somebody on Facebook and then decide to kill them. That doesn't happen. I mean, what if she was the one who wanted to kill him? So I don't trust this guy either. I don't think he spilled the beans. Here's why I think that. First of all, he has a history of being violent towards women. Remember that other woman I talked about? Her name was Jessica Camilleri. She was 26 years old. She was found strangled to death in her home in New South Wales, Australia. It looked like a robbery gone wrong. So they arrested Jay Smith for that murder, but he denied doing it. And then DNA testing proved that he was innocent. He was released from prison, but then he became a suspect in this case with Tamika. According to the police, he confessed to killing her while he was in prison. I mean, why would he confess if he didn't do it? He must have felt guilty. But what if he was just trying to protect somebody else? What if he knew something or he saw something and he was trying to protect the person who actually did it? What if he confessed to take the heat off of them? I don't know. I'm just saying he's a convicted murderer. You can't just ignore the fact that he's already been convicted for murder. So I don't trust him. And I feel like if they really had a case against him, they wouldn't have waited so long to arrest him. So I think that the police got the wrong guy. I think Tamika is still out there somewhere. And then we have this second case with Jessica Camilleri. Her family called her an outgoing girl who loved life. But on September 4th, 2019, she was found dead in her home in New South Wales, Australia. She had visible injuries to her neck. It looked like she had been strangled to death. The police said that it looked like a robbery gone wrong, but nobody had been robbed. So that made no sense. And then the police focused their suspicion on Jessica's father. This is him right here. His name is Tony Camilleri. For some reason, Jessica's dad became the prime suspect. I don't know why. The police never even questioned Jay Smith, who was already in prison for another murder. And back in 2017, Jay Smith had gotten into an altercation with Jessica's dad. He even wrote a letter to the judge saying that Tony had threatened his life. But for some reason, the police never looked into that. Instead, they kept focusing on Jessica's brother. That's her older brother. They grilled him with questions. They brought him in for questioning multiple times. Then they searched his house multiple times. They even got a search warrant to bug his phone. But he passed a polygraph test. They couldn't find any evidence against him. He was eliminated as a suspect, but they never looked at anyone else. They never looked at Jessica's friends. They never looked at her coworkers. They didn't even look at random strangers, just assumed that it had to be someone close to her. So they only focused on her brother and her dad. And since they couldn't find anything against her brother, then they pinned it on her dad. They convinced her dad's wife that he had done it. They said that Jessica had walked in on Tony while he was doing something that he shouldn't have been doing. And that's why he snapped and he killed her. So they got Tony's wife to testify against him. She said that the day before Jessica was found dead, she heard screaming coming from Jessica's room. And then the next morning, she saw blood all over Jessica's bed. So that's enough evidence to convince a jury that he's guilty, right? Well, not really. When the police asked Tony about this, he said that Jessica was always making up stories about her dad. He was used to it. But I gotta say, the dad is kinda creepy. I mean, just listen to this. He said that he was gone. Sue the prison for the way that Jay Smith talked about him in his letter. He said that he was gonna sue the prison for defamation. But then the prison said, hey, we're not gonna pay for your lawyer fees. So then Tony took matters into his own hands. He said that he was going to sue them himself, and that he was going to drag them into court. But that's just not how things work. You can't just sue someone and expect them to pay for your lawyer fees. I mean, come on, that's pretty stupid. And then he complained about the media attention. Said, I don't know why they're bringing up my name. I've done nothing wrong. Meanwhile, he has a criminal record. He's been arrested multiple times for assault and for weapons charges. So clearly he's done something wrong. I mean, let's be real. The police probably got the wrong guy. I think Jessica's killer is still out there. Those are two crazy stories.
Watch. Have a great day.